Hi everybody, welcome to Paper Wishes Weekly Webisodes. I'm Lene Gehrig, and today I've got a great collection of stuff to show you. We're going to make some foam flowers using some cutting dies from Elizabeth Craft. So I can't wait to show you what I did. Come play with us. So first off, I want to show you how to make these flowers. Well, they're not flowers at all, actually. They're leaves. And this is from the die set. This is the Ginkgo Elizabeth Crafts die set. Okay, and I use these adorable little leaves to make this slimline card. So if you're not familiar with slimline cards, they are all the rage right now, and they're just a new format. And so they are 3.5 by 8.5 inches long, and then they come with a coordinating envelope. You can get these already pre-cut and folded at Paper Wishes, so you don't have to try to make them yourself. And what I did was I took this card and I covered the side, the fold side. I put about a 1-inch strip of gray cardstock. This is from the Gingham #2 cardstock. There's the gray. And then it has the coordinating Gingham #2 paper pack. Has this great gray gingham in it. And just covered that, everything sort of to the left. So there's about a good 1/2 inch there. And then I used some slim line, or rather thin line, Dazzle stickers. I use these in this wonderful gray and just put a little border right there. Okay, and then went ahead to proceed to make these cute little leaves. So I die cut them using the Ginkgo set. And this is a great flower foam set. This one is called, I think it's rose color. And it's got antique white, blossom, old rose, dark old rose, mint, and forest. And I just really liked that mint color. So I die cut 2 of this sort of border one. It's not really a border, I will call it a cluster, of that size, and then 2 of the large size. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is just do a little bit of inking, just to give that foam a little bit of depth. So I'm going to get my craft sheet out here. And of course, I love to use my blend-in tools. They come 3 to a pack, and I like to use this little small one for this particular case. And we're just going to use this great little peacock green prism ink pad. A little bit right here. And we're just going to take a little bit and put it on that top edge. Just like that, okay? Just to give it a little bit of shading. And then we're going to apply a little bit of heat to it. And what the heat does to this foam is it changes its texture, and it allows it to be malleable or to mold. Okay, so we're going to take our little mini iron. If you're not familiar with this, it's brand new for us, and it's got a little on-off switch right here. Here we go. Here's the little on-off switch. It's got a little indicator light on it so you know when it's on. And you could use this the normal way to iron your ribbons and things, but we like to use it for our foam flower making. So I'm just going to take this little guy. This is not regular foam, it's super extra thin, and it's meant to react to the heat. That right there, if you could see, it flattens it out, and then it starts to kind of puff up a little bit. Starting to dome. Get in there a little bit more and zoom in. There we go. Yeah, you can see that it's going to dome. And really, you can just leave this on, this is just a sort of medium temperature iron. You can use the iron that you have at home for your clothing. It's not going to hurt it at all. Of course, if you do have ink on the other side of it, you might want to be aware of that. So this is domed, and at this point, we could then manipulate this and do different things with it, but I wanted to just keep it in that dome shape, okay? So I arranged to put the 2 cluster ones. I put the first one down up here, and then I added a little piece of foam tape. These little foam tape squares are just perfect for this. It helps it keep its dome shape. So I put a little one of these foam squares. You can get these at Hot Off the Press, and of course our supply list for each of these cards are on the vlog page, or excuse me, the webisode page at Paper Wishes. You just click below the video and you'll see a gallery, and you can click on that. If you're watching us on YouTube, click on the Paper Wishes link in the description. It'll take you to the vlog page, and then you can look at the gallery for all the supplies. But anyway, we're going to take this and we're going to set that right on there. And then I just put a little bit of glue. The Cosmic Shimmer Specialist Acrylic glue works great on this. I just put that a little bit on that stem. Okay, so that laid flat. And then I just laid them down just like this. So I did sort of a cascade, and I started at the top. I glued one group here with a piece of foam under each one, another group here overlapping the stem, and then these two right here. And then I just added over the last stem a little bit of this lime green gingham ribbon. And then for this little greeting, if I can find them, here we go. These are the We're Together Dazzle stickers. I'm in love with these. I've been using them for the last few filming that we've been doing. They're just wonderful for Valentine's Day, or just even to send a nice little card that you're thinking about somebody. You haven't seen them in a while, so there's thinking of you and hugs and friend and love you and missing our time together, and just great sentiments for this particular time in our lives. So this one had lots of hugs and friends, and then it added those little hearts. So this could be a Valentine's card. It's non-traditional. It's not red. It's not pink. But it's great for to send to your friends. So that was my first card. Now the second one here, also a slimline card, but for the paper on this one, here we go. I used, oops, I just dropped something, sorry. These are the Dotted Duos Paper Pack #2, also from Hot Off the Press, and there's this lovely ivory cream color one right there that I used. And I also used this wonderful, this is the Elegant Ornament Die, right there. I used it like this, and when I die cut it from white cardstock, this is what it looks like. So beautiful. And then it had a little circle here, so I used both of these on my card. After cutting my ivory dot paper just a little bit smaller than the card and gluing that on, then I just added this right here and glued that down. And then I also took this little circle and I glued that right over here. And then I got down to my flower making. I should also mention, went ahead and put a Dazzle sticker there. I wanted to keep it with that white on white, so it might be a little bit hard to see here, but it says Miss You. And that is from the Script Greetings Dazzles, and they come in gold and white and silver and black. Okay, so there's lots to choose from there. All right, so to make these flowers, this flower foam used, these are all these wonderful shades of green. It's got green, white, white, off-white, off-white, and then two different shades of green, like a lime and then a forest in there. See all those? Okay, and all right, so this flower set is Florals #4, all right, and got these great, lovely leaves. I went ahead and die cut the leaves from a cardstock pack. It's just a 12 by 12 pastels cardstock at available at Paper Wishes, sorry, and I inked those with just a little bit of rainforest green. Sorry, wrong green. Of the evergreen. And then I started working on my little flowers and my little berries. So you can see there's clusters of berries and then 3 sizes of flowers. So let's get all of these out here. Here's all my little pieces. All right, so I'm going to show you. Here we go. Here's the 3 sizes, 1, 2, and 3. All right, and then we've also got the berries. Anything that's green like this, I cut out of pastel green cardstock. And then anything that's off-white here, I cut these from foam. So to make the little berries, I didn't actually use heat on these. I cut them from the ivory foam, and I'm just going to take my little scissors and I'm just going to cut off the stem and then cut off that little top piece right there. I'm going to take a little bit of my glue and I'm just going to pull that around, covering the whole thing. And then that's just going to go right on top of this paper little stem portion. Just like that. And then I would do the same with the other one. And then I'm going to add just a little bit of the Rainforest. I used two shades of green. I used the evergreen and the apple green. So with the evergreen, I'm just going to take my blender brush, put a little bit here, and then I just chose the right side and just put a little bit of this green on there. Got it a little dark there. We'll blend that out. There we go. So just shaded one side of it, and I did that on both of those. You can trim the stem off and just stick it right in there. And so for the flowers, did the same thing there, and I used this apple green. Clean my brush off. And then I just took the brush and I just did a little bit of apple green right in the center of each one of those flowers. Like that. All right, so now we're going to take our little iron here, put that on there, and that's going to dome up. Tip that off. All right, so when you get to this point, you're just going to take and crinkle it. You're going to put a little couple folds in there just like that, pinch it, and we're just going to rough it up like that. And that's how I got these little crinkles in each one of my petals. Just do a little pinch, crinkle it up. Okay, and because it's been heated and activated, then it's going to stay like that. It's not going to go anywhere. All right, so I should also mention, for each leaf, I just went ahead and I took the dark green and my blender brush and I just went around the edges of that as well. So now we're going to take out our glue gun. And we're going to put a dot of glue. We're also going to need this little foam block and these flower forming tools. They come 3 like this. I like to just use the smallest one right there. Little tip for you, if you're just experimenting with this stuff, then a piece of like a mouse pad from your computer works good as a foam, and really maybe just using a pencil with the eraser on it can help you kind of get an idea of what we're doing here. So I'm gluing small, large, medium, and small, and I'm offsetting those petals with each time I glue them. Now I'm just taking my ball tool and I'm pressing it down like that, kind of while that glue is still hot. Go, and it's going to spring up there. You see it's keeping that shape. And now for the inside of each little flower, these little green dots are this flower center, and they come from right here, and I cut those from the lime green. I'm just going to take 3 or 4 of them, put them on the heat till they dome up a little bit. They shrink and then they dome. We're going to take those off. And then just put a little dot of glue right there. And then I just put those right in there, kind of laying one over the other. Just that little cluster. There we go. All right, so then I was able to take this, glue the 2 leaves down first, cut some of the stem away because it was just too long, put that down there, and then glued the flower right over the top of that. And then you've got these adorable little hearts, and they are from this little collection right here of candy heart sprinklets. I just used the green and the white ones and used my little Cosmic Shimmer glue and glued those around the flowers and around the little swirls. So just another little Valentine card there idea for you, or just a card to send to a friend. All right, so here's another card. Clean off all my goodies here. So this one, Follow Your Heart. And for this, I used the same set for flower making, the florals number 4, but then I added a lot of other dies that I had. So the first thing I should mention, this is a center step card from hot off the press. So it's got 5 of these great cards. They just pop up like this. They're already pre-folded. They're ready to go right out of the package. Just like this. They come with an envelope. It's one of my favorite folded cards. I also used the 6x6 size of the gingham number 2, and I used the blue, the navy blues, and the little purple. Okay, so you can see I just glued a square right here. Then I glued a strip of the coordinating cardstock just right across the bottom, then glued a strip of the purple, and then 2 more strips here of the purple. So there's 2 different sizes on each side of the paper. So I just flipped the paper around. All right, so then for my wreath, I used the Wreath for All Seasons cutting die right here, and I also used a couple of flowers sizes from that just to mix it up a little bit. And then I used the bigger leaves and ferns dies as well. So let's see, where I've got all my. For the flower foam, I used this set right here, and we took all of the package names off of sets, wouldn't you know. So this is the blue violet set. Here we go, I had to take a peek. And it's got all these great colors in it. 2 shades of blue and violet and purple, and 2 blues and the green and the white. And here's all my little pieces, so I can show you how to make these flowers. All right, so for the leaves again, I cut them out of white cardstock. Here we go. So you've got the fern. This is the one that, here's the leaf that comes in this set right here, and I just die cut it out of white, and I just edged it with a little bit of that green using my blender brush. And then I did the same with this little cluster of leaves, and I also used the fern. And I just cut the stem off because I just didn't need that. What's great about these is you can just cut little bits of these leaves out, and you can just tuck them in here and there, wherever you're needing them. So in this one, I'm just going to take a little bit of the apple green, and I'm just going to edge the tips of these white leaves, just to give that impression of them being a green leaf. All right, here. And then for these little guys, I die cut them out of the light purple, and then there's also the dark purple. And as I recall, I used these smaller flowers to do that light purple. I did the little berries in the same way before. I cut the base out of white and then the foam out of the light blue, and I didn't shrink the foam for the berries because if you heat it, then it will shrink a little bit, so I just left it unheated. And then I used a little bit of navy blue, French blue for the dark blue flowers, and then a little bit of a nice dark purple for the purple flowers. And wouldn't you know, I forgot my dark purple, so I'm just gonna put a little bit of the navy blue on these purple flowers. It's gonna work just fine. Who knows, we might even like it better. All right, so with these, we're going to actually do a little bit of molding with them. Got our little iron. Go. Put that one right there. We're going to go ahead and let cord issues. There we go. I'm going to let that dome up a little bit and shrink. It's doing that. Actually put more than one on here at a time. Make sure my red light is on. Yep, my red light's on. And you can always use, if you don't want to touch these yourself, you can always just use this little pokey tool. They come 2 in a pack at Paper Wishes. This other one on there, well, this one's cooking. While that's cooking, we're going to take our flower forming tools again. To take the larger one. And if you can see here, I'm just taking my larger tool and I'm just going to stir the center of each one of these petals. And what that's going to do is just give it a little bit of a concaved shape. Well, this one's been cool for a while. Use the smaller end on this one, but you'll notice that it still takes that shape. All right, we're going to use our hot glue. Put a dot right there. And then this one right here. And I kind of experimented. I did, some have 3 layers of flowers, some just have 2. And then we're just going to take our smallest tool, do this so that it gets a little bit of a cup. And the center, I put one of our little rainbow flat pearls. And I put a purple one on the purple flowers and a blue one there. And then for the little hearts that you see here, I went back to those cute little heart sparklets. I used the little purple ones. Just glued those on. And then the follow your heart, those came from the 629 heart dazzle stickers, perfect for Valentine's Day. Came from this one right here. It all came together. So put the die cut white wreath down first, and then added some of these little flowers, and rather some of these little leaves in little clusters on each side. And once I got the leaves down, then I went ahead and added my flowers and then tucked in the little leaves here. This leaf was really easy to add a little bit of shape to. This one's just cut out of paper. And by doing that, you give that a little cupping as well, and it just fits really nicely with that flower. Okay. Move on, I've got another card to show you. All right, this one uses this great glitter foam. The blue and white glitter foam, isn't that gorgeous? So I used that, and I also used a 6x6 card, and I'm trying to find in all of this pile which die set I used. It's really cute. Okay, well, I started out by doing a 6x6 card, and then I just went ahead and cut away about 3 inches from the right side. So you just got a 3-inch flap here. And then I covered that with the Dotted Duos #2 paper pack. There's a great blue color there. Oh, here it is. It's right here. Okay, so found it. Steve's laughing at me. So for this card, I used the cute little florals, #2, and this just looked like a little cluster of hydrangeas to me. So they're kind of nondescript, so you can make whatever you'd like out of them, but I used, as I said, the blue, silver, and white glitter foam set, and I'm going to show you how this works. So, got my little iron, and I've die cut, well, first I have to do some inking. So I die cut them from both the blue and sort of the light blue. And on the light blue, I wanted them to have a little bit more color depth on them. So I just took this French Navy Prism ink, and I just went around the edges, just directly with the surface there. Just gave it a little bit of color. Right, then I took my little iron and I plopped it on there, and we're waiting for this to dome as well. Oh. Okay, so we've got this going. Then we're going to take tools again, and on the back side of each one of these, I'm just going to do a little, oops, off camera, sorry. We're going to do a little stir. Okay, back side of each one. And then we're going to turn that over and take the small side and just go like this. Hold it that way just for a second. All right, so there you go. It's got a little, keeps that doming shape. And then this particular set, die set, it does come with little centers that you can put on there, and these great leaves, and then 4 different sizes. But I'm just going to mix it up a little bit and just use a little bit of gold glitter glue on the center. Okay. And you just let that dry. And then for each one of these, because I wanted to keep that dome shape, you put a little square of foam, these great little pre-cut squares of foam. They're adhesive on both sides. Put that right there on the back. And then you just place them wherever you'd like here, and then really at that point you could just add the little stickles there. And then for the leaves, oops, here we go. For the leaves, I just took a little bit of green ink, went around the center of, around the edges of each of those, and then went back to my block here, and then just give this, I keep going off camera because we're zoomed in, like this, to like curve up a little bit. There we go. Thanks, Steve. All right, so I also used the square cutting die to cut this out. So I've got my navy blue cardstock that's come from the gingham #2 cardstock. Works really well with the dotted duos. And then cut a square here, the largest square, from white. And I put these adorable little thin line dazzles stickers, these great little borders. I just did a little scallop one around the edge. Then I inked the edge with that same French blue ink, and then foam taped it to the scallops one. And on the inside, I just put a line of those dazzles on 3 of the sides. See how that works? And then took my little blending tool, again with that French blue, put a little bit smudge right there, and then I added from the 629 heart dazzles, I used the word dazzles right here and added my greeting there, the little XO on the front. So lots to show you today, you guys. So definitely encourage you to check out the Money Saver on the cutting dies and all the different foam that we have. Here we go. And all these foam, beautiful collections of foam. definitely encourage you to check those out. If you are watching us on our Webisode page, just look to the right and you'll see the Money Saver link. Just click on that. And if you're watching us on YouTube, look below the video in the description box and you'll see links to the Money Saver. You'll see a link to paperwishes.com where you can find lots more videos. And if you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to our channel, and that way you'll get notification about our new videos, which we do 3 or 4 new ones a week. That way you can get all kinds of new techniques. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you next time.